The breaking of the siege on Gaza, which was placed on Gaza illegally for over 16 years.
And how did the breaking of the siege happen?
It was not only by Hamas. It was by multiple armed groups. It was by civilians and children as well who were resisting against the occupation.
PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, for example, they're another group that operate at Gaza, not them. So when you say
I was not referring to a specific group.
Sorry, Donna, let me ask the question, please. It's my programme. We are proud that Palestinian resistance has come to this point. You're not referring to Hamas.
No, I'm not.
Hi guys, this is Official Sahar TV, and today we're watching another great video about this one girl, Dana Abu Khammar, who had her visa revoked because she showed support and solidarity with the resistance that happened on October 7th. Please don't forget to subscribe. We're almost at 80,000 subscribers. Let's watch the video.
Dana Abu Khammar joins me live. Thank you for coming on the programme. So what have
Hi, Tom. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm very well. What have the Home Office said to you about why they're cancelling your visa?
Before I answer your question, actually, Tom, I would like to clarify that is not actually what I said. Have you watched the interview that I did?
I have. Yeah, I've played it out.
Can you quote to me what exactly I did say?
We are full of pride. We are really, really full of joy at what has happened. We are proud that Palestinian resistance has come to this point.
And do I mention Hamas at any point in that interview?
Well, what are you full of joy at that point?
My question is clear. Do I mention Hamas at any point?
You are asked about Hamas. You don't mention them by name.
Exactly. So I do not mention Hamas. I do not mention that I condone killing of any innocent civilians. My words were completely taken out of context.
Well, let's go back to what your words are.
No logical person can conclude that I was supporting harm to any innocent civilians based on the context that was given throughout this demonstration.
Well, you called it resistance after one of the biggest atrocities the Jews have seen since the Holocaust, where women were raped and children were killed and people were burned. That's why. Dana.
Let me explain it to you, Tom. There was no explicit mention of Hamas or support for Hamas or harm to any innocent civilians. Whether there was any implicit mention is also not the case. So the protest was advertised in a manner that showed support for Palestinian resistance breaking through the siege. The protest itself was full of chants and speeches that, again, were supporting Palestinians breaking through the siege, with no mention of Hamas, with no symbols referring to Hamas whatsoever. The coverage itself at that point, when I was doing the interview with Sky News, did not show anything related to Hamas.
So when you're there at this rally on the immediate days after October the 7th, and you say, we are full of pride, what are you full of pride about?
The breaking of the siege on Gaza, which was placed on Gaza illegally for over 16 years.
And how did the breaking of the siege happen?
It was not only by Hamas. It was by multiple armed groups. It was by civilians and children as well who were resisting against the occupation.
PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, for example, they're another group that operate at Gaza, not them. So when you say
I was not referring to a specific group.
Sorry, Donna, let me ask the question, please. It's my programme. We are proud that Palestinian resistance has come to this point. You're not referring to Hamas.
No, I'm not.
But they form Palestinian resistance, don't they?
No. Palestinian resistance in itself is an action, Tom. Right? Resistance.
So what were Hamas doing on October the 7th?
With international law.
So what were Hamas doing on October the 7th, in your view?
It does not concern me what Hamas was doing. I was referring to Palestinian resistance. I was referring to resistance.
It doesn't concern you what Hamas has done on October 7th? That's a bit problematic, don't you think?
That is consistent with international law and the specific act of breaking through the siege, which is consistent with international law.
Well,
I was not referring to any group.
Were people to have just broken through the siege, i.e., gone through the fences, understandable. But they didn't, did they?
What do you mean?
Well, we know what happened on October the 7th. People went through those fences and those walls, and they went on to butcher innocent people. So what part of the Palestinian resistance on that day are you proud of, and what parts of it do you think shame you?
The aim of breaking through the siege was not going on and conducting any crimes. The point behind breaking of the siege and the resistance that I was referring to was breaking a siege, was breaking through an open-air prison, a concentration camp, which is illegal under international law. I never condone the harm of any innocent civilians, nor will I ever, because that is a complete misrepresentation of my views and of my character.
Okay, so when you say that you are proud that Palestinian resistance, by which you say not referring to Hamas, you say has come to this point. What does come to this point mean?
Resistance can be in numerous different forms. Resistance can be by simply existing in your homeland. Resistance can be through education. It can form many different forms.
She's deflecting.
But resistance that is on the ground, that is resisting against an oppressive regime and an occupation.
Just not by killing innocent people.
No, obviously not.
Well, that's not obvious from what you say, Dana. With respect, that's not obvious from what you say.
It is obvious, Tom. If you try and break down the implicit biases that you have against Palestinians and against
my bias is on display here.
Tom, let's put your biases on aside. Do you agree with what the Home Office has done in revoking my student visa for simply expressing my views of supporting Palestinians, of resisting oppression?
I actually I have issue with the Home Office doing what they've done, because I think the process should be that someone commits a crime before this happens. An expression of support for a prescribed terrorist organisation is a crime in this country. Have you been in contact with the police?
I've not been in contact with the police. Why would I?
Well, I mean, there might be some people, clearly the Home Office, feel that you've been saying things that are not just not conducive to the public good, but might be advocating a position that could lead people to be associated with terrorism.
Tom, I've made it clear that I did not mention Hamas at any point in the interview, nor is it logical for anyone to conclude that I was supporting Hamas because I was simply supporting resistance. Resistance is consistent with international law. The breaking of the siege is consistent with international law, and that is as far as it goes.
Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Oh, Dana or Dana, I don't know how you say her name. What breaking of what siege exactly? Egypt and Gaza have 7 layers of fencing separating the two. Did they break that siege? Of course not, because they're also Muslims. So why would they? But of course, by resisting against the Jews, which included many graphic and horrific things happening to the people living in Israel on that day, and even before, they fired many rockets, thousands of rockets before. That is resistance. Women is resistance. Burning people as they breathe is resistance. Of course, it's not resistance. So your words are harmful to the West, harmful to the UK, harmful to your university, harmful to the people around you. Of course, you're going to get your visa revoked. Because when you show support to people with a hateful ideology towards the West, you are also one of them. So I'm glad they got your visa revoked. And I hope they do the same with similar people. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost at 70. Oh no, we're already at 70. We're almost at 80,000 subscribers. Please don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to support me financially, you can do so through Buy Me Coffee or Patreon. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.